Welcome to Shootin' the Breeze. My name is Tonya Kappes, and I am a cozy mystery author who is excited to bring you a fun podcast where we answer reader questions and bring you amazing interviews from your favorite cozy mystery authors. Come, hang out, and let's just shoot the breeze. Hi, and welcome to Shootin' the Breeze. Today, I am so excited to welcome John Gaspard today. He has written the Twisty Tales book, The Square Circle. Hi, John. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Gosh, I'm so glad that you're here. You know, we just have a handful of men in our group, and I just love talking to you guys because you have the most unique sleuths. And in this particular book that is in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific Works promo is about Eli Marks. This is a series that you have already about a magician. So before we get to this, let me read your bio to everybody. And it's a fantastic bio. I love it. John is the author of the Eli Marks Mystery Series and the Como Lake Players Mystery Series. He also has 4 other standalone novels, The Greyhound of Baskervilles, A Christmas Carol, The Sword and Mr. Stone, and The Ripperologists. He hosts 2 podcasts, Behind the Page, the Eli Marks Podcast, and the Occasional Film Podcast. In real life, John's not a magician, but he has directed 6 low-budget features that cost very little and made even less, and that's no small trek. He also has written multiple books on the subject of low-budget filmmaking, and ironically, those books made more than the films. John lives in Minnesota and shares his home with his lovely wife, and as you can see, his several greyhounds, a few pets, and a handful of pet allergies.
Yeah.
I mean, I have read your series, so your bio is just as entertaining as
thank you.
the Marks series. So, tell us a little bit about this particular series.
Sure. The Eli Marks series is my main series. There's 8 books in the series. It's about a magician named Eli Marks. He's a guy in his 30s. He was raised by his uncle, Harry Marks. Harry is a master magician who runs a magic store in Minneapolis. And because of Eli's odd perspective on the world that he's gotten from being a magician, he is often called in to help the police solve baffling murders because he's able to look at the clues in a slightly different way. It's a very lighthearted, cozy mystery. It's been a lot of fun doing it, and I've learned a lot about magic in the process, although I'm still not technically a magician.
I love it. So let's read the description about the square circle. It's so, I mean, I just love the chattering teeth. They just crack me up. Okay. Was it a magic trick or was it murder? As Eli struggles to plan a surprise birthday party for his hard to fool Uncle Harry, he gets drawn into the mystery of a missing woman who may or may not actually be a murder victim. So as with all of your series, we all know, which I tell readers all the time, even though it's just it's already got 8 books into it, mysteries, although there might have the subplot, are always kind of standalone anyways, except for the main character, which makes it a series. Yep. So is this able to just be picked up as well and to be read? Yep. Or so there's no subplots that are strewn through this short novella?
There are references to other stories, but any of the Eli Marks books can be read in any order. He does have a certain a personal progression that he makes from being newly divorced in the first book to by the time he gets to the 7th book, he is newly married. But you can really jump in at any point. There are a couple of Easter eggs in this one for longtime fans. That will just kind of go over the head of a new reader, but the people who know the Eli Marks history will smile at a few things hidden inside the square circle.
Well, I have to admit, I have read the series. I started it a long time ago when you first had started writing that. I think we were in the same publishing house at one point.
We were.
So I had picked up the series back then and really enjoyed it. And also readers can get this for free right now during the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific Works. It's only until September. So I'm sure, like John is going to be like the rest of us, we will be putting this for sale after this promotion. So you definitely need to grab this now. But while you're also grabbing that from the link below, you can sign up for John's newsletter. So tell us a little bit about your newsletter.
Well, my newsletter comes out once a month, and in it I try to kind of let people know what's going on in my life or show them other stuff. For example, because I've made a handful of feature films, occasionally I'll give out links where you can see the movies for free or where you can find them on Amazon Prime or Tubi or places like that. I also promote other writers' books on it, and also I always have one section of a bunch of free books because, as you know, as an author, a lot of times you bring people in via a free book like this one, and people who like free books like them all the time. So I try to give them some opportunities to find other authors in the newsletter.
And if that's not fascinating enough, tell us a little bit about your podcast, about both podcasts.
Sure. The one that would be, I think, of most interest to this group is called Behind the Page, the Eli Marks Podcast. And we're in our third season now. The premise is that every episode you'll hear a chapter from one of the books, and then we'll have a guest who can talk about something within that chapter. Generally magicians, although sometimes we have stepped outside of that. In season 1, you can hear all of the first book, The Ambitious Card, for free, and then hear interviews with people like Dick Cavett talking about the favorite magicians he had on his show. We talked to the amazing Kreskin about mentalism. This last season, we had a guy named Nicholas Meyer, who readers will remember as the guy who wrote The 7% Solution, but also directed movies like Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, and Time After Time. So the idea of the podcast is pick it up, listen to it. You'll be interested in the book. You'll end up listening to the whole season because you can hear the whole book for free. And like I say, we're in season number 3. We are making a leap to book number 8. In season 3, because book number 8 is a collection of short stories that allows us to kind of branch out and talk to a lot of different and interesting people.
Yeah, I love that. That is so cool. That is so neat. I just love your bio, and all your hands are in various different pots. And we are so happy to have you part of our Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific work. And is there anything that you'd like to say to the readers?
Well, there's 60 books there, and you've got a year to read them. So, I hope you eventually get to mine, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed at picking up any of them. They all, I've read a few of them. They all look great, that's for sure. And there's a lot of pretty big name writers in there. So yeah, dive in and get yourself some books.
And where can we find you?
You can find Eli Marks at elimarksmysteries.com. That's ELIMARKS mysteries.com. Or you can find him anywhere you'll get your podcasts. It's Behind the Page, the Eli Marks Podcast.
All right. And we will have all those links in the show notes. So you guys run over there and grab his book and sign up for his newsletter, and definitely go listen to the podcast as well. Thanks so much, John. We're so glad to have you today.
Thanks, Tonya. This is great.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
What a fun interview. I would love to thank today's guest for sharing with us their edition in the Twisty Tales and Cozy Crime Prolific Works giveaway, year-long giveaway. So be sure to grab this episode's book for free, and you can do that by going to the show notes and grabbing that link. And also, don't forget to be sure that you follow and stalk this week's Spotlight author. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week on Shooting the Breeze.